Okay, so here's the final scorecard, even though it's pretty hard to see. Here we go. Anyways, we should really be doing the exit interview right now.
Get that fucking camera out of my face.
Tell them what happened, Berk.
I'm not doing an interview, I'm Instagramming.
We did go play some mini golf.
The picture was good, Eric.
Thanks.
Tell them what happened, Berk.
You're just wasting footage at this point.
Okay, I want it for my personal record.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you see here? I've never seen one of this on a gentleman's scorecard, by the way.
Oh, don't know what you're referencing.
I'm referencing, if you look at your name and you go to the 18th hole.
We didn't play 18, the course closed.
It says DNF.
Wait, let's set the stage. Let's set the stage. We made a little wager. How many strokes are you giving me?
Okay.
And how many strokes are you winning by right now on the 18th hole?
I'm down 2.
So you're winning by 1 stroke, but you're down.
Naturally.
The 2 you spotted me, you're down. Okay, so you have to make up 2 strokes on this.
This is a hole-in-one and you're 3-putting.
Glorious hole. I wish you all the ill will in the world.
Oh, she just lumps it right in there. That's money.
Nah.
That's in.
No chance.
She made it.
Wide right. Okay.
All right, Matt.
I made 2 loans.
No. No. Yeah, the course closed. They shut the lights off right before I got the putt.
DNF.
Yep, it was unreal. Very unlucky.
This person has passed us twice.
This beautiful condiment.
And Berkey then passed them.
And so it was amazing how many boxes I checked out. The best-selling
If they go by us right now, it'll be the 5th pass between the 2 of us in the past 20 minutes.
I didn't know.
I'm really rooting
that this
for
would
it.
be the one. I just
Well, like a sad slide, you can't pick out the pieces that you don't like. Well, like a sad slide, you can't pick out the pieces that you don't like. Champagne glasses filled with ether. Below a muffled speaker, whistling a tune I'll soon forget, and I can't remember your name either.
What you cooking there, young buck? Bread. Okay, bread it is.
Walking down the street, and I can't remember your name either. Well, like a sad slide, you can't pick out the pieces that you don't like.
What's going on, Jai?
This one's tough.
I think you might want to hold on to the sides here. Give yourself a shot. Wow. Wow, really going for it.
I think backwards.
Backwards is the play. But how are you ever going to stand back up?
Very shakily. All right, I have no idea how I got turned around, but
Tell Jana she has to wait. We got a real hang up here. I'm going to try just running and seeing. Hopefully I don't fall. Good night. Yeah, challenge yourself. Some excellent spelunking.
I can't tell if they're talking to us or if they're talking.
Great footage. Zoom right in on that.
everything that there is to offer here.
We're gonna have a lot more female Academy attendees after this one.
Oh, that's the daddy right there. This is the one that's gonna kill me. Let's do it. Oh, baby. Ah! Hey, this is kind of fun. Coming in hot. We're coming in hot.
It was all a thrill. I got locked in, but I had to go. The balcony was closed, but our minds were open, and it was touch. Feel me breathing, go on and touch. Don't think too deep in.
Cut that.
Touch, feel me breathing, go on and touch. Don't think too deep in.
Nate, if you're listening, this is the part where you play Ed Sheeran. Just hold it.
15 years old and smoking and rolled cigarettes. Running from the law through the backfields and getting drunk
There
with
we go,
my
we got it.
friends.
Scal, you're not in the way.
Okay, so last year this time, we came to Tahoe for a little getaway, and that island behind us, Christian went on his first hike, well, down to this
Castle-ish.
this little beachy area, right? So you can see the island from the shore, and we asked him what it would cost him, or what we could pay him to stay one night on said island behind us. To which he regarded no amount of money in the world. So I don't remember how he came. He's convinced there's bears out there.
He said there was something that may not even have been an animal that we know.
A chupacabra.
A chupacabra, yeah. That could have been living on the island. So he would do it for no amount of money.
I think at the time his net worth was somewhere in the neighborhood of like
15 to 25K.
Yeah, like 25K. And we asked him if he would do it for 6 figures. And he said, no way, the chin would get eaten alive out there. So then we offered him guns, and he still said no. And then a week after we left Tahoe, we found an article about a bear ravaging the shores of Lake Tahoe.
He's safer on the island.
That's right, the island poses less of a threat.
I don't think I've made the vlog cut yet.
So you just did?
We'll see. Cuts me out. Really scared for my life with Matt Berkey driving. I'm strapped in though, ready to go.
I have faith in Captain Jai!
Sitting on fire, so long. We're waiting on God. Who will and say you're like my kind? You love the times I sang your loss wasn't mine. Who will and say you're like my kind?
Hi everyone, welcome to Poker After Dark. I'm Drea Renee. Let's get the cards in the air.
We just wrapped Poker After Dark, the first sit and go session that they ran since PokerGo has bought the rights. Similar format to what it was in the past. Instead of just buying in for dollar cash amounts and then playing winner takes all, this was more formal. This was actually, we used tournament chips. You got 150,000 in chips to begin with. Blinds start at 500, 1,000 with a 1K ante in the big blind, and then escalate every 15 minutes. And the lineup was interesting. It was a lot of faces from the old school Poker After Dark days. Mattisau, David Williams, JRB, and then myself, Showman, and Will Kassouf, we were the first timers, and a couple of us brought world class poker to the table, and a couple of them brought world class chatter, if you will. Will is an interesting character. He's very difficult to have at a table. I think he probably gets a bad rap overall. He's completely harmless. He means well by all that he does, and he generally has fun, through the table talk and things like that. But he is really, really difficult to get a word in edgewise, and the talk is just also very shallow.
I'd love to slow play this guy, but I can't. Got to protect my hand. You got it, Saola. David, have a look first. Guys, you kidding me? I got to find out where I am. He was kidding, Mike. What, you fell for it already? You bluffed you already?
The two hands that I really want to discuss were both against Kassouf. He was the guy that I played the most post-flop with and saw the most rivers against. So I just wanted to dissect a couple spots where things went really right and things went really wrong. The first hand was I tried to run a big bluff with 7-4 offsuit. He opened under the gun 1 on my big blind, and he opened my big blind 100% of the time. JRB was to my immediate left and was actually playing rather tight under the gun, knowing probably that I'm a big defender. And Will took advantage of it and literally opened every time I was in the big. So I was defending rather widely against him and had already snuck in a check raise earlier where I opened 9s under the gun and check raised him on a 9-8 high board. I flat with 7-4 off, and it comes.
It's not a bad flop, man. Is top pair good? Don't say anything. I have to bet to find out.
Berkey's got the gut shot straight draw.
Got to find out. You got it.
I check. He bets. I check raise to roughly 6.5 blinds, and I think he's overfolding to these check raises, and I also think he's just over c-betting here. So I think he has hands like, Queen 10 that doesn't contain a club and can't really call check raise. And it's really important for me to just, deny his equity here and just try to win with 7 high as best I can. Also, we're set up for like a 1.5 SPR moving forward after the check raise. So I'm going to have a lot of options available to me between continuing for a small bluff, overbet shoving the pot for bluff or value, or trying to set up a dynamic where I try to win here on the flop, but reevaluate due to the fact that I think he's taking a pretty tight range into the turn. And that's exactly what happens. I choose to check raise, he calls, and just his demeanor, his speech, the things I had heard him repeat in this scenario versus earlier where he had a top pair against me as well, I really did think that he was leaning towards the side of just having it. And I think I was only going to be shoving or checking turn, and I was only going to shove improved. The turn, however, was an offsuit 9, and I like to check, and he talks for a minute and then checks back.
I was expecting you to fire the turn. I was going to ship it. I should bet it. Protect my hand, right? That's it.
Now I'm pretty confident that his holdings heavily weighted towards 1 pair type hands, some 6Xs, and then some Jack Xs, and maybe even under pairs like 8s or 10s. The river is the king of clubs, and I just think this is a really good card for me because I retain some king jacks in my range, but really I just don't have any bluffs as far as his range assessment towards me goes. And it sucks because I'm kind of throwing a Hail Mary here. Like, I pretty much unblock clubs outside of having the 7 here. So he still has all the nut flush draws. But, the king of clubs really begins to reduce the amount of combos as well because now he doesn't have any of the paint combinations of clubs. So that's relatively good for me. With the king and the jack both being out there, he really is resigned to just having the nuts here. Or, mostly 1 pair of hands. So I elect to bet 45,000 into what I believe was around 100. And really I'm just trying to make this look like value. The stacks were pretty leveraged at this point. I think he only had 90,000 maybe, so I'm betting like half of his stack here. So even though in accordance to the pot he's being laid a good price, I still think he's going to have to show up with a pretty strong hand here, and a hand like Jack 10 is just going to have a really tough time calling. So he actually uses one of his time cards, and then finally makes a strangely crying call with King Jack. And to me, that just kind of confirms what I already believed to be true, that I was just going to win this pot with a lot of the run-outs. You know, peeling an offsuit 9 was just kind of unfortunate, I think. But to his credit, he held on properly and ultimately did find the courage to call with the top 2 on the river, and then take a little bit of a needle from it. The other hand I played against him, I defended my big blind again with pocket 3s, and it came 9-9-3 2 clubs. I check, and he bet like 12,000 into 15K, which is already like a really polarizing bet and a strange sizing to choose on this type of board dynamic. So I elect to just call, hoping that he'll peel some sort of backdoors and possibly lose his mind. Turn is the 10 of clubs. Kind of, it seems like it should be a good card, but I just don't really think that it's crushing his range. What it does do, however, is open up equity to all of his pocket paint type holdings. So when he has Queen Jack, King Queen, so I check, he checks back. The river is an offsuit Jack, and to me this is just like gin. So I think that he, by the river, has a lot of holdings like Jack 10, Queen Jack, King Queen, King Jack, and then, you know, every once in a while, 7-8. I don't think he has a lot of nothing. His nothing is like ace high. So I think he has enough bluff catchers in his range where I can really go for it here, in spite of the fact that I literally represent no bluffs. It's 9-9-3, I check call flop. I just really don't retain much of a bluffing range once the 10 of clubs comes off on the turn. But, you know, I could have some backdoor type hands if I have like ace 5 off with the ace of clubs, something along those lines. So I choose to overbet 65,000 into roughly 40, and there was no time card necessary here. He calls me really quickly with what was a rivered straight with King Queen. And it just, you know, it appears to be just like a super cooler. And it kind of is. He didn't have to hit the running 10 Jack. But I also wouldn't be taking this line necessarily on all of the runouts. So I felt like I arranged him really well here, and I understood that I was going to be maximizing in this spot. And it crippled him. Left him with somewhere in the neighborhood of 30K. So no surprise, I got heads up with Schulman. When I saw the lineup, I was pretty confident that if things went true to form, this was very likely to be the heads up scenario. And we actually came in where he had a 4-1 chip lead on me. I had gotten a little unlucky against Mattisau, where I doubled him up with ace jack on king 10-10 2 diamonds. I had ace jack with the ace of diamonds versus his 9-5 of diamonds. We played a 35 big blind pot there when I was roughly 40 blinds deep, I think. And it evened all the stacks out. Nick then went ahead and disposed of Mattisau over the next 2 hands, beating his ace-king with 8-7 offsuit, and then beating his king-jack suited with aces. So I was in a weird spot going into heads up in the sense that I only had 10 blinds and I was facing a 4-1 deficit, but it's just erased rather quickly. You win your first all-in, and now you're a double away from taking a small chip lead. And that's exactly what happened. I was able to get it all in. Ace-9 offsuit versus ace-8 off. King-7 suited versus king-6 off. And then 9s versus ace-9 for me to capture the 150,000 and my first poker after dark victory. We did do a 25K saver, so Nick is going to get 25,000 for second place. We decided to do a saver if I double it up, bringing the chips to roughly 5 to 4. I think he had 500K to my 400K after I doubled. But the whole moral of the story is, yes, I ran rather well, which is necessary in a sit-and-go format, but I also felt like, you know, I picked my spots pretty well, and that the mistakes that I made are reasonably glaring to me. I'm not unaware of them. I just am very well aware that I never play perfect poker, and I try to overcompensate in other areas that I'm a little bit stronger.
Matt, congratulations.
Thank you.
First time on Poker After Dark, and you're taking it all, even without your Lucky Charm Gatsby.
Oh, this is true. I couldn't bring the dog with me.
Is he at home sweating the action?
Yeah, of course.
That's amazing.
That's a wrap on this week's vlog. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button below. Next week, we're going to be diving into my Poker After Dark cash games, and of course, the now famous Ace-Jack hand versus Jungman's King-King. I will divulge if I was bluffing or going for value. One quick announcement that we have, the whole Solve for Y team is going to be in Atlantic City this weekend, Saturday, September 16th. We have a meetup scheduled at 8 p.m. at the Borgata in the Long Bar. This is just like a thank you to all of you who have supported us along the way, and a chance for us to meet and put some faces to the names. So if you'd like to pop in for some food and drinks, get a chance to meet the team, we'll be there from 8 to 10 Saturday at the Long Bar at the Berkey. See everybody there.